That's right, Apple brought SlideOver back. In the second beta of iPadOS 26.1, you can now add an app to SlideOver either on the left or the right-hand side of the screen from the green stoplight button. You can even resize that SlideOver window. It'll stay on top of your other apps already opened in windowing mode. And there's some new features for mic input, gain control, and where to save local recordings. Turns out, Apple does listen. So remember, this is Developer Beta 26.1 Beta 2, so this will be coming out in a couple weeks for everyone. Now, in order to use SlideOver, you will need to enable windowing mode. That control is here in the Control Center or in the Settings app, but it works with either windowed apps or Stage Manager. Now with windowing mode active, if I were to open an app, like let's say Apple Podcasts, I can resize it so I can see the stoplight buttons, and now tap and hold on the green stoplight, and you'll see Enter SlideOver is an option. When I enter SlideOver, you'll see it'll go over here to the right-hand side, and you'll see it's kind of outlined with this liquid glass border. That means this is going to overlay on top of other windows. So even if I were to expand my Safari window behind it, you'll see that SlideOver window stays on top. Now I can flick it off to the right and SlideOver stays right there. SlideOver fans will see that arrow they remember, and you can slide in from the side just like that. Or when you slide it off, you could just tap the arrow when you see it and it will come back. It can also work on the left-hand side, just swipe it out to the left, and you can bring it in from there as well. Now you can't add multiple apps to SlideOver like you could before. For instance, if I have this in SlideOver, I'll go to the stoplight buttons, tap and hold the green one, and then enter SlideOver, and you'll see Apple Podcasts is now kicked out of SlideOver mode. And there's no swiping in from the right to have like a multitasking view of apps that are in SlideOver, or swiping down from the top or bottom. So you are limited to one SlideOver app at a time, but that's way better than not having it at all. Now you can also resize the SlideOver window so you can make it slightly different aspect ratio. If you want it to be wider or taller, you can now do that because of the new iPad windowing. I'll put Apple Podcasts back in SlideOver mode. You'll see messages gets kicked out, and then I can resize the Apple Podcast SlideOver window as large as I would want, and it will still overlay all the other apps, or I can make it tall and skinny again. This is going to be really useful, especially if you're a window power user on iPadOS 26, so I can have all these open windows, be navigating them with my trackpad or my finger, and I can still swipe in from the side and have that SlideOver app. It's going to be perfect for messages, or maybe you're using ChatGPT during other research. Now, if I want to get it out of SlideOver mode, I can tap the stoplights and hit the full screen button again, and now it's just a normal windowed app. Tap it again, tap and hold the green, and then enter SlideOver again. And since Apple's listening about what users want in iPadOS 26, I have some words about split view in a moment. But before we get to that, there's actually updates to audio input gain with USB microphones and the mic input controls in Control Center, and also local recording. So here we are in the camera app on iPad, and I'll swipe down to Control Center. And remember, to access the mic input, you actually tap here in this highlighted green area. Well, not only can you choose the mic input, so I can tap here and actually choose the USB microphone connected to my iPad, which is the Shure MV7 Plus, but now you also get gain control and even audio meters. So you can set that input volume, make sure you're not peaking or too soft. Another welcome addition. Obviously, this is the first beta with these controls in it, so it's a little tight with the spacing, but another welcome addition. Now you can also do local capture and decide where to save those local captured files. For this, I'll actually go over to FaceTime, and if we wanted to activate local recording, that actually is also in the Control Center. I actually need to add that control on this iPad. Search for local capture, that's actually the technical term, and now you get that little symbol here in Control Center. Now when I select local capture, I can choose whether I'm doing video or audio only. I'll start a FaceTime and then start the local capture. You see it actually just started right there. It's recording locally on my side. Now, I can't seem to find where to choose that save location or where to put these local captures, so I'll put in the pinned comment under this video when I figure that out. So those are very welcome features in iPadOS, but I have one more request. I know it seems like everybody loves all the windowing and the power features there, but I actually don't prefer it. The way I use my iPad mainly is I edit a podcast every day in Ferrite. That's Primary Tech Daily, and I typically use that in full screen. And so I'll typically turn windowing off because that's how I edit. And sometimes I just want to split view an app like Bear where I might have some notes. So here's my request. If windowing is disabled, let us still do split view. All I want to be able to do is click and drag an app right over here to do split view like it was before, and I'd be golden. Because if you want to do that in the windowing mode, it's a number of taps. If I have Bear here, I can make it go half screen, but I do have to kind of flick it over to the side. That's fine. Now, if I wanted Ferrite to be 50-50 on the left side, if I was using Ferrite in full screen before, I can't just tap, drag that app, and put it in 50-50. It has to go into this mode first. I have to resize the window. Then I can flick and drag it over, and hopefully it goes into 50-50 like that. But then you also get weird things like this, where there was a window peeking through, and I feel like I just don't have as much real estate when all the corners are super rounded and there's more space in the middle. Plus you get weird things like the little menu. Is this for bare? Is this for ferrite? And if I tap over to ferrite and I swipe down again, well, sometimes the window does that and I don't get access to that menu bar right away. That kind of stuff happens. And it seems like if I swipe down over here where the bare window is, I get ferrite. I know it's because it's the active window, and now that bare's active, I can swipe over here, but I still get the bare menu. It just feels a little clunkier than split view used to be. And again, as you can see, it's kind of difficult to get the window to do exactly what you want every time. I know it's a flick gesture, and I know I can do the green stoplights, but all I want to be able to do is just drag an app from here, 50/50 view it, and be good to go. Also, if you have windowing enabled on your iPad, Universal Control does some weird things. For instance, maybe I want to drag an audio file from my Mac to my iPad. Well, I'll start dragging over here, bring it over to the edge of the screen, and I'm trying to drag it onto my iPad. Sometimes it'll just start doing weird windowing things. So in order to use Universal Control consistently, I have to turn windowing off, but then I can't split view or window any apps. So Apple, if you're listening, kudos for bringing slide over back. That is a huge win. It's going to make a lot of people happy. Now, if you have windowing off, just let me do split view like I used to be able to do. This way I can just have two apps side by side, be able to launch that quickly just by dragging from the dock. We'll be golden. But overall, getting slide over back is a huge win. If you have any questions about the latest beta, leave them down in the comments. And if I figure out where to save that local capture, look for the pinned comment down there as well. Get subscribed and hit that like button. You might have seen one of the videos I'm working on is my ultimate iPhone 17 setup. So get subscribed. That's going to be coming up soon. And if you want to see my iPhone 17 Pro Max review, I'll drop that here, or my iPhone Air review, that's right here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.